The question is the motion be agreed to. Matiria Ture.
Mr Speaker, the sole mantra of the National Party over its years of government has been this: sell it off. Sell it off. At every point, with every issue, with every need that New Zealanders have had, the single response from the National Party has been to sell it off. Sell it off. The Green Party is here to deliver on the hopes of New Zealanders for a better, a cleaner, a greener future. We give voice to the growing number of New Zealanders who are making changes in their own lives to build a better future for themselves and their families. And more people, for more and more of those people, that future is one where our core public services, to which we are all entitled as citizens of this country, like health services, like education services, like the justice services, are run for the benefit of the community as a whole and not for some of the National Party friends who want to derive a profit from it. Under National, we have seen a rapid decline in public services and an absolutely massive increase in privatisation and the shift of wealth from the public to the private sphere. For every review, every assessment of critical services, the same solution arises out of the National Party, and that is to sell it off. A sell-off of the public wealth, of the history of this country. There is a housing crisis, with thousands of New Zealand families desperate in this country for a warm, safe and secure, affordable home. Totally desperate. And they look to the values of the past where housing was treated as a basic right of every New Zealand family. Every New Zealand family, every citizen was entitled to decent housing. What has happened to that basic right under the National Government? It has been demolished by National Party bulldozers. That is what we have seen. Where are those homes for the thousands of New Zealand families who desperately need them? Sold off is what's happening with those homes, sold off in the towns and in the cities that people love to live, where they want to build a home and a community. And critical services for children, for the most vulnerable children, whether it's SIFs and in welfare. We know that decades of neglect by government means children's lives are at risk. State care has been the most dangerous place for children in this country. Families have been driven into the ground for want of a basic but decent income so they can provide for their kids. And we all know that the solution to poverty is to fix incomes. But what is the National Party solution? Privatise the welfare system, sell off the welfare system, take children's well-being out of the hands of families and communities and place them instead in the hands of corporates and profiteers. That is the sole National Party solution rolled out in this country. National has lost touch with the real lives of New Zealanders and is failing to show the leadership on the issues that so many families care about. Feeding our kids in schools, for example, a basic core issue New Zealanders believe in and love, and National said no. And the classic example of the debacle of the privatisation agenda of this government is our prisons. We told governments years ago that privatising prisons would lead to failure. They would be expensive and they wouldn't work. And it turns out, of course, that we were right, as everyone said at the time. Time after time, we've seen Serco be exposed for its failures and the Minister for Courts exposed for his complete inability to handle that portfolio. He really needs to go. He either knew that all of these things were going on with Serco and did nothing about it, or he didn't know. He didn't know because he has neglected that portfolio. Either way, the Minister needs to go. He is a complete failure as a Minister of a critical core public service that needs to be kept in the hands of the public. And thousands of New Zealanders believe that. Thousands have said, even National voters want the prisons to go back into public ownership, to public management. So families should be able to have what they need to live a good life and to care for their families. High quality education, accessible healthcare, and respect for the amazing work that is parenting. So the Green Party is the only party with the new ideas that will build this better future for New Zealanders. We have the experience and the track record, and we will deliver, and we will protect and return to public ownership and public management those services that the National Party has been so committed to selling off. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.